Everybody, we are going to get started here in a couple of minutes. We're just letting everybody get on. Go ahead in the chat, type in where you're joining us from. And for those that were planning to attend in person, I apologize. The new changes in COVID prevented us from allowing people to attend in the classroom. That's kind of strange to be the only one here, and it echoes a little bit. So as you join on, hop on, go ahead and put in the chat where you're joining us from. If you're watching the replay, put in the comments. Let us know where you're joining us from. I'd love to know how far these videos are stretchy. So we'll get going here in a couple of minutes. So I don't want to get going too late. We do have a long training tonight. I am Megan McFall. I am the director of the USU Blanding SBDC. I'm really excited tonight. Welcome to the 90 Days of Digital Marketing. For this class, we're going to talk about video content development and kind of the process to do that. I apologize that Gabe Fox will not be with us tonight. He let me know a few hours ago that he is sick. Hopefully not with COVID, but we don't know. He is going through that process right now, finding out, and will not be with us tonight. So you are stuck with me. I was not able to find another teacher. I have been doing video content for about 10 years. I've been a business owner for about 18 and added video content about 10 years ago. So I'm gonna date myself a little bit. I started back on social media, I want to say back in the MySpace days. I had a pretty good MySpace account back then. And then ultimately, you know, switched over to Facebook and built with Instagram, and then started YouTube accounts. Right now I have 4 YouTube accounts. I try for the most part to, depending on which account, post weekly. One of them's every other week. And then another one of them is it's like a podcast series that we record the season, and then I post the season, and then I take a little bit of a break. So it depends on what kind of video content you would like to create and how it reflects your business and how it reflects your life. So your posting schedule will be different for everybody. But the key when you're doing any type of social media or video content or anything like that comes down to consistency. So if you're like me, when I first started out with video content, I first started out when it was all about lifestyle and showing lifestyle and the perfect lifestyle and your cars and your house and this is what you could have and all of this stuff. So it was very intimidating for me when I first got started. I felt like I had to have perfect makeup and perfect hair. My house had to be spotless, or my office, or wherever I was shooting from. And so it was very difficult getting started. And it was very difficult to build consistency when I first got started, because if I didn't feel like it was perfect, and I filmed it, but if it wasn't perfect, then I wouldn't put it up. I don't know if any of you feel that way or go through that phase. I think it's a phase almost everybody goes through, where they feel like they have to be at this level. And when you start out, you might be at this level. But here's my challenge for you. I've got several challenges, I think. I like to challenge people a little bit, I think. Anyway, my challenge for you is to just get started. I go back and I look at my first videos, and I really struggled for a lot of things. My editing wasn't very good. My safe word, speaking of is and so about every third word I would go back to and you'll notice that I still do that to this day. It's a safe word for me, but people that watch me kind of, I think, have picked that up and kind of noticed it's a little quirk I have, but I have really kind of mellowed that out. But if you go back to original videos that I did, it is kind of scary. As every third word, I was very nervous. I fidget a lot. I'm ADHD and dyslexic. And so if you notice, if you're ever on video with me, I will always rock When I'm teaching, I will rock back and forth. I wear heels, and so sometimes that rocking will cause me to be off balance. If I'm sitting in a chair, I will move back and forth. Things like that, things that you probably shouldn't be done in a video, but here's the key. It's your style. It's who you are. And as you go through time, those things will either dissipate or they will become who you are. People that watch my videos know that I'm a rocker and I will always rock. And if they don't like that, then they don't watch me, and I'm okay with that. And there's things that you'll come up with that you're okay with too. So I'm really excited to share a lot of information with you tonight. As I was going through and kind of coming up with what I wanted to share with you tonight, I was reminded of a training that I went through with Google. I am a partner with Google. I'm able to do a lot of Grow with Google type classes here and able to tie into a lot of amazing information. But I went to a training or I had a training with Google. It was called Using YouTube to Build Your Business. And it was an amazing training because they literally got started at the very, very beginning of even creating your YouTube page all the way up to ads and analytic and things like that. And so it's a very intensive training. It's got a lot of information. It is for beginners, but there's a lot of information there. I want to share that training with you tonight. So I reached out and got a copy of that recording and able to share that training with you tonight. Here's the thing, you're not going to be able to absorb all the information, and that's okay. Write down 2 or 3 things that you can add to what you're doing right now or start doing and master those. And then come back and watch it again because there's that much content, and get 2 or 3 more things that you can add to what you're doing to build. And build over time. Don't think that you have to turn around and do all of this all at once, or it'll become overwhelming and you won't want to do it and you will hate video content. Because here's the thing, video content can be really, really fun because you get to share who you truly are. People want to know that who you are authentically. People want to know that your business is a branch of you. People want to know if you're, like for me, they want to know that I'm not perfect. People want to know that I am ADHD and dyslexic. And hey, you can still be a business owner and have those disabilities, because I learned how to take those disabilities and make them my advantage, right? People want to know, hey, I'm a single mom, which I'm not. But if you're a single mom, people want to know that you're a single mom and you're out there killing it as a single mom, and it's not perfect. And you might have orange juice that got spilled on your P&L sheet, but it's okay because that's part of being a mom, right? People want to know what life really looks like as a business owner. They want to know because, hey, that's their life too. And what part of your business can help them because you can understand what they're going through. So be okay to share who you are authentically. I'm trying to keep this from going to sleep because it's got the presentation on it. Be okay sharing who you are authentically because it'll make a massive difference in how you reach your audience and how your audience relates back to you. So before we get started, I want to give a massive thank you to our funders. So we are funded in part with a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Association and Utah State University. And we're really, really grateful for that funding because we're able to bring incredible trainings like the one you're about to get for free tonight. This 90-day series, if you looked on Eventbrite or however you saw that, if you found it on Zoom or any one of my marketings, you notice that this 90-day training was free and we're dropping massive amount of content. And because of that funding between the US or the SBA and Utah State University, we were able to bring that to you for free. So just keep that in mind when it comes to all of that information, that's how we're able to do it. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. Let me go ahead and get a screen share going on over here. I got 2 computers running at the same time and I forget which mouse I've got to play with. Let's get a screen share. Come on. There we go.
possible. So make sure to post your questions directly under the live stream video on the Grow with Google on Air site. We'll choose those top rated videos, so make sure to upvote your favorites. If we don't get to answer all of your posted questions, our team will reply and answer all the questions directly in the Q&A shortly after the event concludes. And don't forget to post and share using social media with hashtag #GrowWithGoogle. Finally, you also have the option, if you want to turn on YouTube's closed captioning and follow along. To do so, simply click the closed caption button directly on the video player on your screen. All right, let's get started. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but YouTube has over 2 billion monthly actively engaged logged in users. And these users watch billions of hours of videos today. So for hundreds of millions of these viewers, YouTube is always on, everywhere, any place they are on their mobile device. That's a lot of people. So how many of you actually have watched a YouTube video on your mobile device? How many of you are actually watching this right now on your mobile device? So those are some really big numbers. And sometimes big numbers are hard to really comprehend. So really think of this. Google is the largest search engine, right? The world's largest search engine. And YouTube is the world's second largest search engine. So YouTube reaches 91% of the online population here in the US. Today, when people want to know how to do something, they need to understand how to do something, they just want to do some research, they often turn to YouTube. Yeah, we can go to the internet and we can search for how to do things, but wouldn't it be great to see and hear how all these things work, or to learn something step by step visually with audio cues, as opposed to having to read and go back and forward? And that's one of the biggest advantages there for YouTube. So the question is, for you, how do you translate these billions of actively engaged monthly logged in users into growth for your business? And that's what we're going to talk about today. All right. So YouTube is where people discover. Over 90% of consumers say they discovered new products and brands on YouTube. We also realized early on that choice is critical. When you give people choice, something magical happens. They pay attention. And so when we're talking about, like, what does that mean, giving choice? So I'll ask you this simple question. Has any of you ever gotten sucked into what I like to call the YouTube vortex? And that's like when you go to YouTube for something very specific, like how to fix my broken phone, right? And then 2.5 hours later, you're watching cats fall downstairs. You have no idea how you got there. But that journey you took for those 2 hours, these are all choices you made. No one forced you to watch those videos, but there's content that you are interested in, you're engaged with, and YouTube understands that. And that engagement is what it's all about, right? So when you give people their choices, the ability to make those choices, they actively engage with the content. And so when you choose what you watch, you pay attention. And that's what really matters, okay? So YouTube can help you to build your brand by connecting your message with your audience when they're actually paying attention. Your audience is on YouTube. They're watching on every screen, whether it's their mobile device, their laptop, their desktop, their tablet, smart TV, whatever it may be, and they're paying attention. This is a big deal. At any hour, any day, any device, people expect to find videos that either entertain them on YouTube or that provides them information they're looking for. All right. So there's no need to worry. A lot of people think like, well, what about my competitors? But they're on YouTube, or there's more. My market is so saturated. That's okay, because when you understand that, and you probably do this on your own, when people turn to YouTube for information, whether it's to discover new brands or new products, we don't simply just watch one video. We like to make sure we get enough different opinions on those products that we're looking into. So most people will interact with 3 or more videos before they actually come up to that final decision. All right, so YouTube is where people engage, right? So the question is, um, for you, is how to translate, like I said, these billions of users into engagement and growth for your business. Before you get started with your channel, you need to pause first and really think about what role you want YouTube or videos to play in your marketing strategy, right? These are all good objectives for your YouTube presence, but focusing on 1 or 2 or maybe different strategies, you'll actually have a better play for creating a channel as well as in individual videos that help you to achieve your business goals. So like really think about, what am I looking to do? What am I looking to get out of this? And then pick 1 or 2 that really focus and to help drive the strategy you're looking for. So before we get into the whole nuts and bolts of YouTube, let's just take a quick look and understand. This will really help you to really drive those goals and how you can use YouTube to drive your marketing strategy. Just take a look at a simple consumer journey, right? So when we talk about a consumer journey, people don't just turn to the internet to simply buy something, especially when it comes to things like YouTube. We're doing our research, right? And we're doing our research, and these are opportunities for you to create a positive impression on these people that are currently researching. So when we think about this particular journey is someone's in the market for buying a car. So how many of you have actually purchased a car? And we understand that a car is a high ticket item. We don't just go out and buy a car. It's not a tube of toothpaste, right? This is an investment, and it's not an overnight decision. Most people will take up to 2 months before they actually make the decision on what car they're going to buy, right? And so if you talk about the car dealership in this case, they know a thing about YouTube advertising, and so they put their message in front of all the people in their particular area that are in the market for buying a car but have not actually decided on a specific brand yet, right? And then so the intended user will continue their research online on Google search. So they watched the video on YouTube, they caught a bumper ad, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then that bumper ad created, an influence them to go back and do a search on Google for Sunnyvale Motors, which happens to be the advertiser, right? And then so from there, they visit that dealer's website, and a cookie is stored. So a cookie helps us to be able to understand this person's journey so far in this particular product research. And then they go back to YouTube to watch some more videos. And then because we understand that they watched that ad on YouTube, they even took that one step further to visit that person's website. And then next time they go to YouTube, we're going to remarket them on YouTube to just keep Sunnyvale Motors on the top of their mind. And of course, that's right, I'm still in the middle of car research. They visit that dealer's website again, and they schedule a test drive, right? And we would like to say that this is the optimal path here when you talk about the consumer journey. It's not always this simple, but this is a great example on how you can use YouTube to really increase the likelihood of a user clicking on those ads or really visiting your website and helping to drive conversion. All right. And so some questions you need to kind of ask when you talk about how to really approach this and really understand your consumers is, how many of you actually watch a video and purchase immediately, right? So like when you really think about this, you don't watch a video and then go and purchase. You may watch 1 or 2 videos and visit some blogs, right? So how many did a search for something on Google and then purchase them, right? So think about that as well. This is because people are in different stages. So some people may go in and just say, I'll search and, oh, this is great, I'll buy this. Some of you may search and search again and search again before you actually make that decision. These are different people in different stages of the consumer journey. Some people know exactly what they want, and really they're at the end of that journey. And some people are actually interested in, but they're undecided as to what brand or product they're going to be interacting with. So they're in the beginning of that consumer journey. And when you talk about that, it's important to understand where your consumers are and which consumers you really want these videos to tailor to. All right, so let's take a quick look at our agenda for today. So we are going to break the workshop into 6 sections. First things first, creating a home for your business on YouTube. And then we're going to talk about creating videos that help you to achieve your business goals, and then organizing your channel to attract viewers. And then we're going to talk about how you can promote your business with video, and then how to stream video with YouTube Live. And then we'll show you some additional resources at the end to help take you to the next level. All right, let's get started. Okay, first things first, we need a home for your business on YouTube. In order to do that, you need to have a channel. First things first, you need to go to youtube.com, and if you're not already signed in, sign in to your Google account. If you don't have a Google account, it's a very easy thing to create. You simply go to any Google service, whether it's Gmail, YouTube, or google.com, and then it'll ask you to sign in. When you sign in, you can create a free Google account that will allow you to access all of Google service, including YouTube. When you're signed into that account, you can hop from any Google service or product without having to re-sign in, because that account allows you access to all of Google's tools. When it comes to YouTube, this is a really important thing I like to tell a lot of people, is if you're going to be using YouTube for business, most of us will have our own personal Gmail account or Google account. It's really important that you don't want to use that account for creating your YouTube channel, especially if that YouTube channel is very specific for business. You want to simply create another Google account for that business so that you can separate that personal YouTube from your business YouTube, so that you can browse videos and then you can also upload and post videos through those two different accounts. They're both free, so have at it. It's not a big deal. All right. So once you're actually signed in, well, actually, not, you're not signed in yet, right? So once you're actually signed in, yes, then you can actually click on your account and then you can go and create a channel. You can actually create multiple channels for underneath the single Google account. If you were to, go to your account, click on that icon for your, it usually is like the first initial of your name. You can click on that, go to the drop down, click on create a channel. When you click on that, it'll ask you to put in your channel name, which we'll talk about in a second. But also understand you can go down to that settings on the bottom of this drop down. And then there, if you wanted to create, you can have the ability to create multiple channels under the same Google account. Most people don't know that. So you don't have to keep creating more and more and more Google accounts. If you want to have multiple channels, simply, splitting your brand through different types of content. Okay, so when it comes to creating your channel, now you need to start making this channel yours, right? So you need to upload your profile picture, which could be your logo. It could be an image of you. It could be an image of a product you sell. Remember, when people watch your videos, they will also see your profile picture next to your channel name. So this is a way to really start to create brand recognition. After this, you would then start to write a description for your channel. So this is where you just basically want to give people an idea of what your channel is all about, and understanding that this description also can show up in search results. So this can help you to be found in whether it's YouTube or Google search results. And this is what's going to be visible in the About tab. If someone goes to your actual channel and they check out your channel profile, they'll be able to see this description. And this is what you want to use to just give people an idea of what your channel is all about. You can also add your website URL and any social links that you want to share. These also show up in the About tab, and we'll take a look at that in a second. So when we talk about getting down into the nitty-gritty, you want to start customizing your channel. A lot of people leave this out. They simply start their channel, start uploading videos, but they don't really make this channel yours. Customizing your channel creates brand recognition. So take the effort to really start customizing and really understanding how to make this your channel. So when people see videos that are related to you and also see your profile page, they know this is you and this is where they want to be. So this screen is where you're going to personalize everything. And this is the actual customized section of your YouTube channel. So you can actually click on your profile picture, click on your name, and then go to customize underneath there. And then so when we get to customize, you can upload channel art, right? So channel art shows as a background or banner at the top of your YouTube page. You can use it to brand your channel's identity, and give your page a unique look and feel. So be sure your channel art, works on both desktops and mobile devices. A lot of people will load it up on the desktop. It looks great, huge banner, but it doesn't work on your mobile devices. You can always hop into the YouTube help to find out the recommended dimensions when it comes to uploading a picture or an image for your channel art. You also have the ability to add sections. Sections help you to organize your content into different sections to make it much easier for people to understand the content that you offer or to find the content they're looking for. If you have a business that has multiple sections or multiple types of different types of content, maybe let's say a beauty beauty salon, right? And they may do things on how to do hair, and maybe how to do makeup or whatever it may be. And those, instead of just having hair and makeup all in one section, you can have a section for hair and then a section for makeup. Right? And then so now I'm interested in learning how to do my hair, right? So I can go in and see these are all the ones that I'm looking for, which drives faster engagement, and it's just much easier to organize that content. Okay, and then so you also have the ability to upload videos. You can click on that camera icon in the upper right-hand corner. This also allows you to go live, and we'll talk about YouTube Live towards the end of the presentation. Okay, So when we talk about your channel, this is what it looks like, a fully customized channel. And you can see Divas Can Cook. They went all out. They have everything set up, and they've created a fully populated brand channel, right? So when you click on their profile, or you click on their channel, this is what you see. And you can see their banner on the top with their logo is right there. And then you can see that description with any important links that they have there as well. And then we'll talk about playlists, but you can keep that in mind. You can see it right next to home videos, and then you have playlists. So the home, of course, is where we are right now. Go to videos to see the different videos, and then you can talk about those playlists. And this is just a way to really, create a continual engagement. I like to think of playlists. It's a great way to create lists of content that either tell a story or just offer value when you put these videos back to back to back. And then when you do that, if you do it right, people will flow from one video to the next video to the next video automatically, like a music playlist, right? Without any interruptions, without having to stop this, play the next one, and this drives continual engagement when you talk about just keeping people engaged with your content. And so this is a really well organized channel. When you look at this, it's just done really well. All right, so now we're going to talk about best practices for creating videos that can help you achieve your business goal. So when it comes to creating videos, who has ever created or shot a video? We all have, right? We were all fully enabled to do what it takes to create full engaging videos because we've been enabled by our mobile devices. Our mobile devices, our phones, have come a very long way in the sense of technology and really giving you the power to capture some super high quality videos with even great sound, right? Most YouTube creators, you look at a lot of these content creators, some will have, separate cameras, whatever, but a lot of them simply use their phone on a tripod. I use my phone on a tripod when I create all my videos. I don't have any extra equipment. Every once in a while when I'm doing a voiceover, I may have a special microphone like I'm using right now for recording today's session in order to get the best quality I can out of my audio when I'm sitting here editing content. But otherwise, when I'm going live, I just simply have my mobile device on a tripod or a handheld, what we call a gimbal, right? And these are just a very simple thing, very inexpensive. You don't need an entire team of people in order to capture high quality videos that people are going to watch. And you all know it. I'm sure you've already figured that out by now, checking out all the really cool, engaging content that is on YouTube, right? You can just simply take out your phone and start shooting a video. YouTube is not a platform where only the big brands can play, right? You don't have to be a Nike or Coca-Cola or L'Oreal to run ads here. If you shoot an authentic video that tells your business story and you put it in front of the right people, that will take you a long way. So some things you want to think about before you shoot a video. Number one, what is the whole purpose of this video? Are you creating it to engage and build and connect with your audience? Will it inspire people to feel good about your brand? Some things like, does it actually inform so people see you as an expert, right? So these are some questions you want to think about before shooting a video and when you're just kind of mulling through the type of content you're coming up with. So I want to share a couple of key points that you want to keep in mind when you're creating a video. So number one, what is a story you want to share or tell? Are you introducing a new product, giving an overview of your business? Who or what is the star of this actual video? This person or this thing will become the face of the video, right? It'll become the focus of the video. And then also understand the sights and sounds of the video and how you can best capture that. When you talk about who or what is the star, I think this is probably one of the more important things. I can't tell you how many times a very popular subject on YouTube is blogging, right? So video blogging. And then lots of bloggers, whether it's travel or whatever it is, they forget why people come to their channel and their videos. And they focus too much on themselves, right? So let's say if I want to search for best restaurants in New York City, or the top 10 restaurants, whatever it may be, in New York City. And I click in the video, and then I watch the first 5 minutes of this video is the vlogger sitting there talking to me, and the camera's facing them, and they're telling me about these restaurants. And then, just a quick picture or screenshot of a restaurant. And then they go back to them talking for another 5-10 minutes about the different restaurants. They're missing the whole point of why we're there, right? We're not there to see them. Right? It's important to understand that the star, right, and the reason why we came to this video, even though they do offer great knowledge, but when you talk about video, you're missing the whole point. If I wanted to just read, I can totally read, and you can tell me what you want to tell. But I want to see, I want to hear. I'm like, oh, I wish I could smell the foods, but that's what it's about, right? So make sure, a big thing is to make sure you turn the camera around, understand who that or what that star is, and why people come to your video, and give that to them, right? If you're simply talking about you being a subject matter expert on something, then yeah. If you're not, really focusing on anything, and you're just offering good content, good advice, then yeah, that camera could be facing you. But if it's not you, that's the star. If that's not what people are coming for, turn that camera around and make sure you give them what they're looking for. And those videos will go a much, much longer way. All right. And then when you talk about the sights and sounds, like I said before, give people what they're looking for, right? So if we can give them those sounds and those sights that they're looking for, give that to them, and really understand how to best capture that to really drive high engagement for those videos. And then also some ideas that just to help you get started. So what's the process for your service, right? How does your product work if you're highlighting a product? What makes you stand out? Some things that people do, like in technology. I love those unboxing videos and how they do that, or even some how-to videos. Those are really great ways to create engagement. So you're offering knowledge and you're giving people what they're looking for, and then that drives engagement and it shows you as being that expert. Right? And so even think about some of those questions that your customers ask you. And those questions can easily become videos to help them answer them. All right, so now that we have an idea of what we're going to cover in the videos, let's just talk about the content for your video. You want to make sure you share a clear, concise message to your viewers. Try to make a strong impression within those first 5 to 15 seconds, right? That's, when you talk about that first impression, it's really important. You want to capture their attention really early in that video so they continue to watch. You have ideas for your content, the narratives in your stories. So we talked about that. But now think about how you will use that to guide potential customers to engaging with your brand. Your video should not be a sales pitch, right? It should not be like, buy, buy, buy. But it can help to steer that conversation and deliver that message in a timely manner or an appropriate manner. You can even provide a call to action that helps potential customers take that next step. Like click here now or check the link in the description below to really help people get started and really drive further engagement. All right. So just some ideas to help you get started with that. It's just like I said before, like understand the process between your service and really how do your products work and how your products are made. Those are some really good things you can really get into, especially if they're made or those things that help you to be different. When you talk about clothing, if they're made, if they're made in the U.S., they're handmade, they're organic, whatever it may be that helps you to stand out. Make sure you highlight those things in your videos to, of course, steer that conversation and really drive compelling engagement. Okay, some tips for shooting, some things to kind of think about, understanding your space, right? So when you talk about your space, make sure it's free of clutter, and it really kind of depends on the type of video you're shooting, but make sure it's free of clutter. Think visually, show your logo on your workplace. A lot of people don't really think about that. Just really dropping that logo in where you can, whether it's behind you or where if you're touring your building, make sure that logo pops out there so people know that, hey, this is the place I'm looking for. Create that brand recognition that you want. Lighting is important. If you can, use natural light, and then also facing your source. A lot of people like to turn their back a lot of times. Don't turn your back on the camera. If you can't, make sure you're speaking to the camera. If you're going to turn your back or you have to turn away, you may need to invest in a different type of microphone, like a lavalier mic, in order to be able to capture what you're saying. And that's just, really good as well. And then also just lighting is an important thing. Looking for shadows, not having too much light above you, making sure all that lighting is really going right towards your source. And if you need to invest in a special type of lighting to really highlight if you're doing something like a product feature, then you can invest in that. The investments are very, very small. You don't have to get a full production setup. Just really understand. It doesn't take much, right? And then so when we talk about sounds, you want to listen to the space. If, like I said before, if you need to use a microphone, use that microphone. And so, like if you're talking about like a yoga, that's a perfect example of those yoga videos. The perfect example of needing to use a lavalier mic, simply because you're contorting in different positions, and then sometimes you're facing the mic, sometimes your head is buried, by your clothing, and it's being covered up. That lavalier will capture that sound every time, so that the people that are listening can hear your instructions with no issues, and they don't have to keep turning the volume up and down, which of course is taking them from what they're looking to do, which is follow along. All right. So after you start recording your videos, then you need to organize your channel to attract viewers, right? So depending on what people search for, they may see your channel first, or they may see one of your videos first. Some viewers will find your channel first before watching the video, most likely through your online or offline marketing activities. Other viewers might be searching for a topic or a product, and they see one of your videos before coming to your channel. And then so just really understand, when you organize your content, you need to account for both. So when we talk about an organized channel, here's an example, a good example. So coming back to Divas Can Cook, right? We briefly discussed some of the features on the screen, but let's break them down a little bit more. So the channel art, we talked about that. So the channel art on the very top of that screen, this has to be engaging, right? So the channel art shows as a background or as a banner on the top of the YouTube page. You can use it to brand your channel's identity, right? To give your page a unique look and feel. So when we talk about that, when people see this, they know that this is Divas Can Cook. If they're looking for their content, or if they happen to come across this again and they enjoyed one of your previous videos because you made the efforts to create that brand recognition, they stop and they want to see more. So below that, we can see there the introductory or the video trailer. So now the video trailer, this is something that you would show to all of your unsubscribed visitors to your channel. People come across, and the video trailer is kind of used like a movie trailer, right? Use it as a way to offer a preview into your channel offerings, so viewers want to subscribe. This does not need to be a 30-minute long thing, right? Think of it as a movie trailer, short and sweet, but to the point. It creates interest to drive engagement. So really understand how you can do that. Most trailers, if they're done right, they'll be around a minute and a half long, no longer than that, okay? Your description. So when we talk about description, we touch on this again. YouTube is one of the world's largest search engines, and in writing a description with keywords can help viewers to find your videos more easily through that search, right? So put the most important keywords towards the beginning of your description. Identify one or two main words that describe your videos and feature them prominently in both your description and title. And we'll talk about that more when we get to the actual videos. All right, so this is important. And when we talk about those keywords, we're not talking about any particular word that I want to throw in there to help drive content. Those words have to be keywords, and I stress saying keywords as many times as possible, because you have to understand that these words have to be key to when someone finds your video, your channel underneath these particular words, they come and they say that this is what I'm looking for, right? And then you really have to understand that, not just throwing a whole bunch of words into your description, into your video title. They may drive engagement. They may actually drive people to find your videos, but simply because those keywords don't really line up with your content, it doesn't drive engagement. And engagement is important, right? So you want the people to come to your videos that are interested in what you have to offer, right? We're not trying to drive a lot of traffic. We're trying to drive valuable, high quality traffic. So keywords, keep them short, keep them sweet, and keep them really key to your business. All right, and then so we talked about playlists before. So like I said, playlists are a collection of videos. I like to think of them like a music playlist. You group all those songs together that you like and you just want to listen to in a row. And so when you talk about a video playlist, it's just a group of videos that are going to play continually in a row. They offer a good journey in the sense of driving further engagement. And understand when it comes to playlists, they don't have to necessarily be your videos. You can create a mishmash of videos from your channel, other channels, to really just show value and offer engagement throughout YouTube. All right, so you have your videos, and you're like, how do I get them up there? It's very simple. Upload your videos. you click on create in the upper left-hand side of your screen. It'll be next to your brands and your account pics. This opens up a drop-down where you can choose between uploading a video or going live. And we're going to talk about live in a second. Once you upload your video, or as the video is uploading, depending on how long it takes, then you need to start populating out all the details for your video, starting with the title. Like I said before, that title needs to be important. And so when you're actually creating a title, a lot of people like to get creative with titles, but not really understanding what a valuable or a good title name is kind of comprised of. Number one, you want to understand how people are searching, right? So in this case, how to make a 3-tier wedding cake. People want to know how to create a three-tier wedding cake, and if I did the cake of your dreams, right? If I did that as a title, people aren't going to be searching for, maybe they may search for cake of their dreams, but this would not be the title that really works for them. And so it's important to understand, like, what would people be searching for, and what title, if they were searching for what I have to offer, is going to drive the best engagement, right? So if someone sees this, they say, this is what I'm looking for, and they click on that title. You really need to think of it that way. As much as you want to get creative with your titles, you need to understand that people are going to click on titles that show them that what lies behind this click is exactly what they're looking for. That's important. All right. And then so we get into adding a description with the right keywords. This is important, like I said before, keywords, right, that are going to help boost views and, more importantly, boost watch time. So when someone, finds your video underneath this, the keywords in this description, they're going to say that this is what I'm looking for. They find it, and then they watch and engage. Also, and then so below that, we have our thumbnails. So YouTube will randomly select for you 3 frames from your video, so and that you can use as a thumbnail to represent your video. So the thumbnails are those little images you see throughout YouTube as you're browsing, and you can click on it because it gives you a little glimpse into that video. Those random 3 frames, from my experience, are always the worst 3 frames ever when you talk about just randomly pulling it. I personally don't like to leave it up to the randomly frames. In the beginning I did, but I've changed them all by simply uploading. You can upload your own personal thumbnail. And then one of the cool things about uploading your own thumbnails is that you can start to create a sense of brand recognition. If you look at most channels out there, especially really popular ones, they have a particular theme to all of their thumbnails, so that when people see these as they're browsing through YouTube, they're automatically drawn to these themes. Some word of advice, if you see a thumbnail out there, or you start using a really popular channel, like, wow, I'm going to do exactly what they're doing for their thumbnails, you're doing yourself a disservice. Do not copy and then blend in with all the other channels out there. What you want to do is you want to stand out. So when people see your thumbnails, they know it's your brand, and they don't associate you with something else. So that's important, right? So you want to stand out amongst a sea of videos. You want people to say, this is what I'm looking for, and you don't want to look like everyone else out there. We talked about playlists. If you want to make this video part of an existing playlist, you can totally do that to add that to those playlists. And then you also can get into your audience. So YouTube has special rules for videos designed to have a kids audience. If your video is for kids, be sure it is in compliance with YouTube's regulations. All right, and then from there, you would select next. Some things you can do throughout, if you want to, these are optional. You can add end screens. So an end screen can be added to the last 50 to 20 seconds of a video. You can use them to promote other videos, encourage users to subscribe, and more. So your video has, in order to use an end screen, number one, your video has to be at least 25 seconds long to be able to use those end screens. So take that into mind. Also, you can use cards if you want to make your videos more interactive. Cards can have things like polls, links to other channels, and more. Like I said, you don't have to add either of these. These are kind of an optional thing if you want. So you can skip over this and then click next. So when you think about who do you want to have access to your video, right? So visibility, you have the ability to save this, number one, or publish this publicly, unlisted, or private. So when you talk about public, everyone can see this. So if I check on public, this is listed public on YouTube. People can find me when they're searching for those videos. If I don't want this to be publicly available and showing up in search results, I can mark it as unlisted. What that means simply is that no one will be able to find this video through YouTube or searching on Google or whatever. But if they do have access to this link, they will be able to view the video. And if I mark it as private, so private simply means this video and the playlist can only be seen by you and the people you explicitly give access to, like literally this email or this Google account has access to this video only. So that's what private is all about. If you want to, you can set the date when you want to make your video public, and then click next. So simply when it'll upload out there, and then you click next. So once your video is published, you need to spread the word. You can share your video on a variety of social sites via email, websites, and more. But be proactive about letting people know about your video. Word of mouth is a great thing. Don't be afraid to shout out and promote your video. You'd be amazed at simply just mentioning that you have a channel, what amount of engagement that actually drives. And then when we talk about sharing, just understand, integrate your channel into your website and into your social and email. That channel should be everywhere so that people know it's out there and driving engagement. This is an excellent way to get your videos in front of those interested customers, right? And so encourage continued interactions with your brand and really help to spread the story of your business, like I said, through word of mouth. So don't forget, this is a really important thing, and everyone does this, and you should know this by now, but also ask your viewers to subscribe to your channel so they can stay up to date about your business. All right? Okay. Also, to really help to understand and learn how people are engaging with your videos, YouTube provides you with free analytics around your videos. And as you can see, you can actually go in there and see how your activities are working, like really if things are working the way they are. You can monitor the performance of your channel and your videos with up-to-date metrics and reports in YouTube Analytics. Within those analytics, you'll see there's 4 different tabs. And then those 4 different tabs, apart from the overview, each tab is tailored to help you see the data that's most relevant to your goals. We don't have time to go into this simply due to what we, our time constraints for today's workshop. But you can check out reach, engagement, and audience. These are just really great ways to understand if your videos are reaching the right audience, if they're driving the right engagement. So just kind of a quick thing, when you talk about your engagement, this shows you literally for your video at all the different points where people are staying engaged, where people are skipping, where you're getting the most user drop off. This is important if you want to understand the goal really for your video is to get people to watch it from end to end, right? From start to finish, right? And if you can start to see all those moments of engagement, click and see like what's going on here. Why am I losing the audience? And this is the big thing for you vloggers out there. I tell you right now, 90% of the time, people are dropping off when you show your face because that's not what they're interested in, right? So understand what they're looking for. The second you take them away from what they're looking for, you lose engagement. So make sure you keep them engaged in the product or their topic of interest. All right. So when we talk about promoting your business, we're going to talk about some advanced strategies, right? When you talk about promoting your business outside of social, your website, using YouTube to promote your business, this is a great place we can do. We're going to talk about this, but before we get into this, let's take a look at a quick video from Tulane's Closet, and then we'll hop into it.
Sorry about the snorting. Normally, after a surgical procedure, pets typically go home with what's called a cone or an e-collar. My name is Stephanie Seiberg, and I am the owner and developer of Tulane's Closet. When I was in veterinary medicine, I had a lot of clients come and ask if there was something else out there that they could use, and that's how it kind of got started. I had an idea. It's a one-piece post-surgical pet garment. The advantages of the Cover Me by Chewy is that they can eat, sleep a lot easier than wearing a cone. They can actually get through their doggy door. They can relax comfortably. Video can show people what it's made out of, how to put it on, how easy it is to use the potty cover. YouTube, it's great for people that are just starting a new business or small business owners like myself, because we're all on a budget. As you see that business is growing, you can always add to that at any time. We have doubled almost every year since we started in 2013. There's so many people now that really consider their pet their family, and they want them to be comfortable. I think a lot of dogs are a lot happier right now.
So as we saw with Tulane's Closet, videos let you show your products or services to your audience, not just tell them about it. As I mentioned earlier, YouTube offers a home for your videos at no additional cost to you. If you choose to pay to reach them even more, you can. All over the world, if you want, you have the option of doing so through YouTube advertising. Now, there are different ways to advertise and connect with the people that matter with you. You don't need to get your ad in front of everybody. And this is important, right? So when we talk about advertising, you want to put your ads in front of the people that are most interested in what you have to offer. And this is the way YouTube advertising works. So you connect those people that matter. You only pay when they watch your video or ad. So when someone chooses to watch at least 30 seconds or clicks on your TrueView ad, and that's the ad we're looking at right here with this skip, then you pay for those interactions. You can see how you're doing, right? And what to improve in real-time insights about how people are responding to your video ads. You'll also know if what you're doing and if you're doing it right and how you can do it even better. So there are 5 different ad formats when we talk about advertising on YouTube. Let's break them down. So the in-stream ad, here we're looking at, it runs before, during, or after videos on YouTube on the display network, which is a YouTube advertising network, games, and other apps. Ads may also run on YouTube videos that are embedded on other websites. After 5 seconds, we all know these, the user has the ability to skip that ad. When we talk about video discovery ads, they appear on YouTube only. They're seen in places where people discover content. Outstream ads show on partner sites. These are ads that are available on mobile devices and tablets. Non-skippable ads, which ones we all love, right, are 15 seconds or less. And as the label suggests, they can't be skipped. And number 5 are bumper ads. So bumper ads are designed to increase brand awareness. Bumper ads are just 6 seconds or less, and the viewers can't skip them. So when we talk about the different formats we have, we talk about just different attention spans, right? So our YouTube videos have been built for all those different attention spans. We have short, bite-sized advertisements, snack size 15 to 20 seconds, and then those meal size 30-second plus. And then so just kind of getting into it, the first format I want to talk about is a so-called bumper ad format, right? We know that viewers have short attention spans, right? And we've seen them, seen that people are more likely to abandon ads. This is why they've created these 6-second bumper pre-roll ads. So just a real quick look at this. And so actually, before we can get into this, the question I get often is like, really, can you say anything worthwhile in 6 seconds? And the answer, of course, is yes, you can. Matter of fact, 9 out of 10 viewers can recall on that after watching a 6-second bumper or pre-roll ad. Some best practices to use a bumper ad is to remarket to the viewer, right? So when we talk about these, they should already understand and have an idea of your brand. So like if they've watched a skippable ad, they've been introduced to your brand, and these bumper ads will offer a snack size refresh introduction to your brand. So let's take a real quick look here at an ad.
The next basketball highlight video could cost you up to $1.31 in data. Switch to Xfinity Mobile and save.
So that was a bumper ad. And then so most of you probably know about the TrueView or skippable ads. As the name implies, this ad format allows viewers to skip those ads after 5 seconds. And you know, without we just wait, and skip. So the big advantage to that is, number one, we're giving choice, right? Those consumers have a choice and they're not forced to watch content, so they don't care, right? So they're not forced to watch content that they don't care about. Advertisers only pay if the viewer watches 30 seconds, or so they only pay for those users that are actually interested in what you have to offer. All right, and then so some best practices, just like with kind of the bumper ad, because the user can skip after 5 seconds, make sure, number one, you create attention-grabbing content that compels the user to watch on. Also, be sure to include your brand in the first 5 seconds to get your name out there, whether the ad is watched or not. Right, so let's take a quick look here of an example that takes those ideas into consideration. All right, so talking about companion banners. So companion banners appear next to your in-stream ads on the top right-hand corner of the watch page. When an in-stream video ad ends, or if it's skipped, this companion banner remains on the YouTube page in the upper right-hand corner and can be clicked at any time. So this kind of gives the ability for someone to have that ability to see the ad, but I came to watch a video, right? But they watched that video, but that reminder of that ad is still there in the upper right-hand corner. If you don't customize this companion banner, it shows up. It shows a video wall and links to your YouTube channel. If you actually upload a video, it creates another doorstep into your website and helps to drive clicks. So a quick pro tip here is always use a companion banner when running a YouTube ad. All right. All right, so enough about advertising. Let's take a look at, last but not least, how to stream videos with YouTube Live. And just before we get into this, just understanding the advantages of advertisement, it allows you to promote your video, right? And so when we talk about promoting your video, promoting your brand, it's an excellent opportunity, like I said, to target the people that you want to know about your brand. So targeted advertisement on a huge platform where people are actively engaged in the content they're watching. All right, so YouTube Live, I'm sure you've all have heard of YouTube Live. So it allows you to stream an unlimited amount of users, regardless of whether or not they have a Google or YouTube account, right? Most people can use a smartphone or a computer or a webcam to create content for YouTube Live. You don't need any special equipment. So when we talk about what is YouTube Live, for those of us who don't know, it's an easy way for you to reach your audience in real time. All right, so there's real-time streaming, whether you're streaming a video game, you're doing a live Q&A, or you're teaching a class. YouTube will help you to manage your stream and interact with viewers in real time. There are a few ways that you can live stream on YouTube. So here's a quick overview. So options for beginners, if you want to quickly go live. Number one, you need a webcam, right? So live streaming via webcam is an easy way to go live without the need of an encoder, right? Start streaming from your laptop, your desktop, your computer, using your webcam, very easy. You can also stream mobile. So streaming on your mobile lets you stream from the YouTube app on the go. Some things to note though, that if you want to be able to stream live from your mobile, you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers to your channel. So also, when you talk about ideal for advanced like live streams, you can make those streams either public, right, viewable to anyone with the live URL and your channel subscribers. You can also make it unlisted, so viewable to anyone with that live URL. So if you don't want to have that information out there, you just want to stream to a select group of people, only provide a unlisted live stream out there. All right, so how can your business benefit? So obviously each business is going to be different, but here's some quick ideas for the types of live streams that you may want to do. If your organization normally has live events, you can consider doing these as live events on YouTube. Or this is a great way to showcase your expertise by addressing FAQs and inviting your audience to ask more questions live. If you have a product and you absolutely do live product demos or live unboxings, this is a great way to do that as well. So just some different ways, right? You can start using this to help drive live engagement. So once your channel is set up, you do need to enable YouTube Live 24 hours in advance. This is important. Don't think that, oh, I'm going to go live right now. If you've never done a live stream, you do have to go through the setup, and you'll be taken through the steps to simply verify your YouTube account and enable live streaming. You would do that at studio.youtube.com. And then once you do that, you'll be able to click on that Go Live button and be able to stream live. But remember, it's going to take 24 hours in order to be able to do this. So after that, there are a variety of ways to go live. When you're signed into your YouTube account, you can click the Go Live icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Or if you are already into your YouTube account, you can simply click on that video camera icon and then select Go Live from the actual icon. Okay, so now we're going to start setting up that live and getting ready to go live. So you fill out the title of that stream, and then also the privacy settings for your video. Privacy settings works the same exact way as it does for your other videos. And then when you click next, you want to get ready. So this is something, when you click next, you want to get ready because it's going to take a screenshot of you to use as a live thumbnail for the actual image. If you don't want to use that live thumbnail, you do have the ability to upload a custom thumbnail for your channel. Before you go live, you want to make sure you run through this quick checklist before going live. So today we're kind of going over the basics of YouTube Live. There is much more detail that's available, more information available at the YouTube Content Creator Academy. But just do a full test, right? So just test everything, schedule the stream out in advance so that everything's ready to go. And when you're ready to go live, you click on Go Live. Provide a video description. And make sure, if you're going to, like I said before, choose a high contrast, clear thumbnail image that really helps to kind of pull your audience in and drives engagement. And also announce and gather audience questions. So make sure you're out there and, hey, just driving engagement. Make sure people out there, and then they can ask those questions via the live chat. And then so during live, here's a good checklist to think about. Feature your event on your channel. So make sure you feature that event on that channel. Deliver opening and closing remarks. Stay on track and stick to the structure. And then answer those audience's questions as you go along. And of course, create highlight clips while you're live. So after you completed your live stream, make sure to publish your live stream to your archive of your channel. So when your streaming stops, YouTube will automatically upload an archive of your live stream to your channel. You can find it in your YouTube studio and then go to your videos and then go to live. And then from there, you have the ability to publish that so that will be people can access it after the live stream to drive more engagement for those people who missed out on the live event. All right, so here's some additional resources as we're winding down, wrapping up today's session that you want to take into consideration. If you're just thinking, I'm not a content creator, I don't know how to do this advertising, we do actually, YouTube has a large pool of creative partners that can help you create the videos of your dreams. Whether you're starting from scratch or repurposing existing videos, you can go to youtube.com/ads/making-a-video-ad. And that's in there, and it just gives you access to all the people that have been trained and really understand on how to create compelling videos. And there are lots of different choices, whether you're using a team of people or even some software that really help pull together the ads or the videos that you're looking for. The Creator Academy, I mentioned this before. This is a great place to go, whether you're either starting out or looking for ways to improve your channel. The Creator Academy, which is free online education about YouTube, can really help you to grow your channel and beyond your wildest dreams. If you go to creatoracademy.com, formulate.youtube.com for more information. This is all free content. Simply sign in and then get started. Also, Google Primer. This is a free app that you can download to your smartphone, whether it's Android or Apple. It's just a series of fun, short lessons. They're like 5 minutes each that really help you to get started and offer some really great creativity, information on how to basically create more creative videos, more interactive videos to really speak to your audience. And these are, of course, around marketing, right? So when you talk market focus learning. If you want to take it to the next level and you want to become an expert on something like YouTube or even YouTube, Google advertising, whatever it may be, you can access the skill shop. If you go to g.co/skillshop, free online training. This is self-paced training that you can take. This information is perfect from anyone from beginners all the way through advanced users, and there's no charge for this training. And it's not simply on YouTube. YouTube is one of the actual tools that you can get training on. But like I said, lots of all those different Google tools. And you really can start to see how they work together and how you can connect them to really drive much higher engagement on Google's platforms. Okay, so this wraps it up for today's presentation portion of the workshop. Now, just give us a few moments to pass it off to Hansel, who will answer some of your questions that you've all submitted. Take care.
So basically, based on the questions that are in the chat, I am not going to go ahead and let's see. Turn this off real quick. So based on the questions that we have in the chat, I'm not going to play the Q&A section of that because all of the questions have kind of gone to a different direction. So I appreciate everybody that added questions into the chat. There's a lot of questions and they're kind of a little more social media, and it's probably because of how our series has gone. We did do social media last week, and that was a lot of fun, that class. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this on my screen real quick and sure, there we go. So I have gone through the questions, and they've all, a lot of them are about me, which is kind of interesting. So any of the questions that are about me, some of them I'm going to answer, and others I'm going to tell you to contact me, and we will talk about those, because if they relate directly to your business, then let's talk that through and let's figure out how we can work different aspects into your business. So the biggest questions that I have coming through is, how do you not let it take over your time? Especially the fact that I have 4 channels. Video content is one of those things, as he talked about in the beginning part, where he talked about all of the equipment that you might want to use and different things like that. He talked about making sure that you're on a schedule that fits what you and your business. And that is so important. It goes with anything we talked about last week about social media. You want to make sure that your posting schedule and how you're doing your social media. And I include video in my social media. So if I talk about, and I say social media, include video into that, because it's all one. When I do a video, and I film a video, I am looking for two things. Number one, I need a full length video that I can upload to YouTube, but I'm also looking for clips that I can cut out of that video that I can use on Facebook or Instagram or IGTV or Facebook TV or LinkedIn. I also do a lot of LinkedIn. I don't do TikTok. Just one that I honestly, I can't dance and I can't do a lot of that stuff. And so it's just my ideal client is not on TikTok. And so it was one that I chose personally not to do. Whereas there's a lot of clients that I work with where their ideal client is on TikTok or will be, they will be their ideal client in a year or two. And so being on TikTok is a smart strategic move for them. I personally, it's not a smart strategic move for me. So it's just an added platform that I did not feel like I needed for my time. So when you're looking at the different platforms to be on, make sure that you're on the best platforms for your business. Last week when Pratt Red was teaching, he went and he broke down the different platforms and he showed you age ranges and how much time spent and how many people on it and different things like that. And that's something that you need to take into consideration when you're deciding what platforms you're going to use for your business. Okay. Then going back and making a strategy that will be encompassing enough that covers what your marketing needs are. And then figuring out what items you're going to use. And there's multiple different ways to be on social media and to do video to be encompassing for your business, but also at the same time, not take over your life. So I have multiple different channels. I have multiple different platforms, but what I do, for example, is I plan out what I'm going to do well in advance. So I know what I'm going to post as far as the theme well in advance. At least I plan at least 90 days worth of content, or at least themed content. And usually I try and do, like for example, during the break at Christmas or maybe Thanksgiving, I actually take that time off and kind of plan out my year. And I know that that is a little much for some people. They need that breakdown. That's just what I do as I take that time off. It's something that I've done as well. This year will be a year that I don't do it because we've decided with COVID, it's something not to do. But we actually, me and a group of business owners, we actually get together for about a week, and we'll sit down and we'll figure out collaborations and themes for 90 days or for a month, and we will figure out what the best options are for our businesses to move our business forward for a year. And that can be a lot of fun too. Every business is going to be different on how you do that, but collaborations can really help move your business forward. So back to video content. So I've got my schedule planned out. I know that I'm going to post on Thursdays on one channel and on Saturdays on another channel. And I have another channel that is pretty much just straight podcasts. And then I have a personal channel that I post personal stuff. So that's my 4 channels. So on my Thursdays, I go through and I figure out, the titles and essentially the theme and kind of what I want to do. And I do that well in advance so that when I schedule the day that I'm going to film, I know what I need to do. And then when I film 1 day a month. And people are like, oh my goodness, how do you do all in 1 day a month? It takes a little bit of practice to get used to that and to be able to film that quickly and that fast. But let me kind of explain how that works. So I have essentially the basic content of what I'm going to do. I've got bullet points of what I want to talk about. You want to, when you're doing filming and filming content, you want to film about things that you know enough information about that you can talk about them fairly quickly. With your business, you should be able to have enough content to be able to do that. And if you're stretching out into areas that you don't have a lot of content on and you're not able to talk about that well enough, then maybe a couple of things to consider. Number one, that maybe video is not where you should be going. I personally think that there's always things that you can make adjustments on and that you should have video. So if that's something we need to talk about, reach out to me. Number two, maybe you need to add like an extra category so that you can have more options, so that you can talk about things a little bit more and you're not so stretched. Number three is that video and your topics should come naturally and that they shouldn't be so stretched. Some people do YouTube full time and they have the time to spend 8 hours on a video to do the research and do all of this kind of stuff, and that's fine for them. But if you're like me, I don't have time to spend 8 hours on a video to do all kinds of research, to go on a million different locations and do all kinds of different things like that. That's not what my channels are about, and that's not what my business is about. And so that doesn't work for me. My channels are my videos are very, very quick and very, very easy content that build what I'm about, either as a business, as a culture, as product, whatever that might be. They're usually very easy to film. When I film, it takes about an hour to film each video. Reason being is my videos are only 5 to 10 minutes long. So if I'm filming for an hour, that gives me enough content to edit down into a 5 to 10 minute video. Within that hour of filming as well, as I usually can pull out enough bites in 30 seconds, and I can't remember all of the terminology, but I'm able to pull out enough other clips and snippets and things like that to use on other social media platforms that make it a lot of fun, and I can link it back to that video. So an hour of filming usually gives me enough information that I'm able to do about a week, if not 2 weeks worth of content, okay? So when I film, I usually film for 1 day. If you're going to do this, you need to consider your own lifestyle and think about, okay, if I have kids, do I need to get a babysitter? Will my spouse be home to be able to watch the babysitter? If I'm filming alone, do I have a tripod to hold my camera? How's my camera going to be held? Different things like that you need to look at. I personally still just use my phone. I don't have any fancy equipment. I just use my phone or my computer. I do have a microphone on my computer, but that's more for podcast recording that I do use sometimes if I'm just doing like a Q&A or something like that, that is just stand still at the computer and record. But if I'm out doing a video, I just use my iPhone. I started on an Android Note, and I love both of them. They both have great content. So don't feel like you have to go out, just like you said, and get a whole bunch of equipment. You can start with what you have, and most phones these days have amazing quality videos. So just be aware of that. So when I film, it's a huge day. So I'll go and I have outfit A. I do my hair and my makeup. I have outfit A with this content, outfit B with this content, outfit C. And I plan that out. It's just part of the routine. So I go and I'm changing to outfit A, have my hair one way, my makeup, things like that, go and do my filming, okay? It takes roughly an hour. That is my goal. Sometimes I go under, sometimes I go a little bit over. It depends on the topic and how well I know the topic and how easy it goes. You get into a little bit of a flow, and by the end of the day, I get faster on my videos. I usually have a little harder getting used to it and getting in the flow of things. So my earlier videos take a little bit longer. So I get the first video filmed, then I go and I change my clothes. And then I might put my hair up a little bit, or I might leave it down because I kind of have like 3 styles of hair, let's be honest. And then I'll go and I'll film another video. Then I go and I change my clothes. And then I go and I film another video. And then I go and I change my clothes, and I might change my jewelry and put my hair half up this time. And then I'll go and I'll film another video, and then I'll go and I'll change my clothes and I'll change my jewelry. So I look completely different. But when I do this, it looks like I have filmed on different days because my hair is different, my clothes are different, but my video content is different. So it looks like I didn't do it all in one day. And that's how I'm able to film basically a month's worth of content in one sitting. So that's kind of how I do all of that content all at once. The other thing is when you are creating your content and you're going in to edit. I edit everything in one day as well. And when you're first starting and you're editing classes, or when you're editing videos, sorry, it's going to take you a little bit longer. It takes a few minutes to figure out your style. It takes a little bit to figure out what you like. It takes a minute also to figure out what your audience prefers. So don't get frustrated. Take your, understand that things are going to change with time. And the more you do it, the faster you will become and the easier it will become as well. So just be prepared for that. So I usually film on a Saturday and then on a Sunday or the following Saturday, depending on what's on my schedule, I will sit down and I will edit and get that all ready to go. Part of the editing, again, is getting those little snippets. And then if you were on last week's or have watched the social media, you know that I pre-schedule my entire month's worth of social media. The reason why I pre-schedule is my schedule is absolutely crazy. So I have multiple social media platforms. I have multiple YouTube channels. I have business that I operate. I have an absolutely incredible business partner that takes on a heavier load than I do, and I love her to death for that. But I also have to take care of that. I work here full time as the director of the SBDC and workforce development for my county. And so I have a pretty heavy load. So I have to make sure that I can take as much off of my plate as humanly possible. However, if you were to go onto any one of my social media platforms, you would think that I am on there all day. If you were to go onto my YouTube, you think I was on there all day. The reason being is I have taken as much as I possibly can and automated it. I have an amazing scheduling program and I do pay for it. I am a firm believer in determining how much your time is worth versus the cost of it. And so finding an amazing scheduling program that takes up all of your platforms is really, really important. And not all of them are created equal, and not all of them work for one individual company or person. It depends on what you like to post and what works for you. So make sure you have that. And if you'll notice, I'm saying a lot, it's my quirk. So here you go. Here is another trick that I do. So I load it all up and then on YouTube, as you notice that you can load your videos and then schedule your post. I do that as well. So I'll go through and I'll load them up and I will schedule what day and what time that I want them to come out. And here's the interesting part about that. The longer that you're on social media and the longer that you're on YouTube, you will get a following that comes to expect what time you're posting, what time you're getting things out, and they will start getting on right as your stuff comes out, and you will get your biggest push right at that time. So the key is consistency. And if it takes you to schedule your posts in advance, then schedule your posts in advance. It's okay to do that. What else we got? I have another question about, there's some individual questions. There's one question here that I do want to address. It's very individual, but it crosses multiple boards. So one of our viewers is a voiceover actor, and his question was, he wasn't sure which videos he was doing. His idea is that he wants to do fake ads with him as a voiceover. And my camera just keeps going out of focus and in focus. Let me back up a little bit. He wants to do fake ads so that he can demonstrate his skill. What are some things to watch out for? What could be possible issues that he could be facing? So that was the essential background of the question. So here is what I would be concerned about. Number one, when you're using businesses' names, you want to be careful for any legal backlash that you're going to get. Do not, anytime that you're using another business's name or something that you don't personally own, you want to be really, really careful. I personally, anytime that I use another business name or I'm working with another business, even if I have a guest on that I'm interviewing, I have a legal form that basically states that I have full control over that content and that I can use it for marketing and I can use it for whatever I want because you don't want them to turn around and come back and say that you shouldn't have used our name, or a cease and desist order, or whatever that might be. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but right now social media is huge and it's across all platforms, and you want to be really, really careful how you're using somebody else's business's name. So what I suggest that you do is, number one, if you're making fake ads, that you don't use any actual business names. You either make some up that are very totally fake. And even then, it makes me nervous because somebody can come along later and say, hey, that's my business name. You can look and search and it makes me nervous. I wouldn't do that personally, but that's an option. The other option is that you can just use, just say in blank industry. That would be like the business name, like in the agricultural industry or in the retail industry or something like that. Use that as the business name for your examples. The other option, again, is going on and getting a form like I have, and me and my business partner use for our podcast. It's a general form that we use for all social media, all podcasts, things like that, so that it releases us from any liability, and we're able to use that content and that information for podcasts, for social media. We can go live on Facebook, on Instagram. We can do anything with that, and it basically releases all that information to us. It also states that we can use or tag them and their accounts on our social media and our website. So you can have an attorney draw that up because it's just a form. It's generally fairly cheap or inexpensive when it comes to stuff like that. Or I'm not sure if LegalZoom or something that would be on there. If it's not, it's something that they need to consider adding because social media is so prevalent right now. So another question was, how much does ads on like YouTube cost? Here's the thing about advertising on like Google or YouTube or even Facebook. It comes down to your budget and what you can spend. So if you listened to that part in the training, he talked about you only get charged for the ads that are watched for at least 30 seconds. So if your ad comes on and they skip it, it's not 30 seconds worth of ads, it's only 15 seconds worth of ads. So essentially you're not charged for that. So it comes down to setting your budget, seeing how much you have, seeing where your ideal client is, what they're watching. And let me back that camera out a little bit. Maybe it will quit doing that. So seeing where your clients are, seeing what they are watching, and seeing kind of finding the ideal space for that. Watching your analytics, all of that kind of stuff. So when it comes down to it, you need to figure out what your budget is. It's not how much does it cost, it's how much is your budget, and then how far will it go? What is the ROI? It comes down, what is the return on investment for YouTube? What is the return on investment for Google? What is the return on investment for Facebook? It comes down to narrowing in on exactly who your ideal client is, where they're at, what they're doing, whether it's scrolling on Facebook or they're on YouTube watching videos. It's a different group of people, and they might be on both as well. So it's a matter of figuring out what is the best option for you and your business, and then how much is your ad spend. Essentially, when it comes down to it, how much are you willing to pay? What's in your budget that month? Is it $100? Is it $300? Is it $1,000? And then determining that, and then watching your analytics. If you watch your analytics, it'll tell you, oh, on this type of video, you have this open rate. On this type of video, you have this open rate. On Facebook, on this type of clientele that is in this group that does this, that makes this, that you have this open rate, and then making adjustments every single ad that you put out there Even on the same ad, if you're running an ad for multiple weeks and you're seeing a trend, making adjustments on those ads, it all comes down to watching the analytics, and analytics are king. I'm going to start January 2021. We're going to get really into analytics. We're going to get into getting properly listed online. We're going to get down into your website and making sure your website works for you. We're going to get all into those classes. So watch out for that schedule for 2021 so that we can really get down into the details of that and really show you. But there's a reason why, as I planned this 90-day series, that we started where we started, and we're going to end up with a full marketing plan. So we started with your ideal client. The reason why we needed your ideal client and what stories and background and all of that stuff that we went through on that first workshop is that so that when we get to like this point where we're figuring out where your ideal client is and what they're doing, we have the background. We know what gets to them. We know what story is going to take from your business to get to them, to create the video content to reach them. We talked about branding in the second session, the colors that your culture relates to, what emotions are projected, what looks on your pictures, things like that are given. And what emotions are taken, different things that were talked about in the branding. And branding, I could literally teach branding for 90 days and still not have all the information on branding. It was just a little taste, but it gave you enough to understand that branding is important and the decisions that you make have an effect on your clients. Then we talked about websites and creating websites. If you don't have a website, how important that is. SEOs, making sure you're found on Google, and that class. And then ultimately the social media and linking all of that together and video content. So we want to make sure that we did that all in order so that when we get to this point, we can start thinking about the next stages and the next pieces as we add into that. And then creating ultimately that marketing plan for next year. And then you can plan out the last couple of weeks of 2020 to make the incredible marketing plan. So if you're like me, I take the last couple of weeks of 2020 and say, okay, the first 90 days, this is what I'm going to focus on. The second 90 days, this is what I'm going to focus on. And I have 4 90-day runs in a year. So whether that is a free content or that's a specific product or that's a specific clientele, everybody's business is going to be totally different. And if you need help figuring out what that needs to be, feel free to reach out to me. So all the other questions were very, very detailed and business specific, and I needed more information. We've already gone over our time tonight, and I don't want to take over too much time. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off there. If you have any specific questions, feel free to call or to contact me. I will talk to you individually for that. If you want to leave a comment, if you're watching the replay, leave a comment, ask a specific question. I will reach back to you. Also in the description, I also leave my phone number to the center, and they can find me and we can talk a little more detail. The key is finding what works for you and your business and maintaining the consistency, because if you're new and you get consistent and people are expecting and then you miss a few weeks, then you can lose those people that are consistent. I've had followers for 10 years, and when I missed last February, I had personal things go on last February and I missed stuff. I missed my load, what I call my load day, where I load everything for the entire month. And I missed my load day. I had personal stuff go on, and then we moved offices, and then a week later we had an earthquake, and then we had COVID quarantine, and then it was just a crazy time, and I missed uploads. I missed my normal stuff, and I had people reach out and say, what is going on? Is everything okay? You'll get to that point, but if that were to happen and I was brand new, I would lose my following and you start over from scratch. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. The key when making video content or social media plan is planning consistency. So make sure when you're ready to start and you hit your action, you have consistency, and what your plan is based on consistency. So if your consistency is posting on social media 3 times a week, then post 3 times a week, but stay consistent with that. If you only can post a video on YouTube every other week, then post a video every other week, but stay consistent on that so people can grow to expect that and learn to plan that into your schedule and what you need to do to make that happen. I appreciate everybody that has stayed on all night to watch this training. I hope that it brought you value. Video content can be overwhelming. Don't let it overwhelm you. My challenge for you is to start somewhere. If you've never been live on Facebook or never been live on your Instagram or YouTube, whatever it is, I challenge you to go live and do something, okay? If you only do it, for a week straight or whatever that might be, do it and get going, get used to it, because the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And it becomes a thrill. You become best friends with people you've never met because you follow each other and you start talking to each other. And it's a lot of fun. It really is. And then your business starts making impact on other people's lives. And you're probably thinking, well, my business doesn't have any positive value like that. How can it make an impact on somebody's life? You will be surprised what happens if you just put yourself out there. Because you might show somebody, if you're a single mother in business, and working a full-time job while you're trying to build your business, you might show somebody that it's possible, and you might have that positive impact on their life that way. You don't know, okay? If you are a husband and a wife building a business together and you're showing the world that it is possible, because let's be honest, these days it's really, really easy to start a business and then let that tear us apart. Show them how it's able to be done together. Show them who you are, and you'll be surprised what kind of impacts you're going to have. And it's really, really neat. So my challenge to you is just get out there and just start somewhere. You don't have to be perfect. I had to learn the hard way. You don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have makeup on every time I go live. I don't have to have my hair done every time and look perfect. Just do it. Thanks, everybody. You guys have a wonderful night, and we will see you on next Thursday for business automation. Have a good one. Bye-bye.